Right now, I've just been welcome. Today we are getting back into On the Origins of Gnosis by P.G. Langdon. Hey Genevieve, I actually already talked a whole bunch to you, but I guess it just wasn't recording. Oh my gosh. But it's looking like we have green lights for go right now, which I'm super thankful about. So we're going to start into chapter 3 here of this amazing book by Phil Langdon. So, 3, Cosmogenesis. Quote, "The impermanent has no reality. Reality lies in the eternal. Those who have seen the boundary between these two have attained the end of all knowledge," end quote, which is Krishna. Bhagavad Gita. That's how you say that. That way. Good to see you. Long time no see. Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Perceiving the light in the void is going back in time to the timeless seed of existence, a place where there is no time at all, where t equals 0. As such, the so-called light of illumination, for the observer, is also said to be the light of the cosmic creation that produced them. The light makes the cosmos, whose greatest product makes the light. The same pattern as acorns that make oak trees that make more acorns. In this sense, the light is considered both spiritual and physical in nature, as the spiritual redeemer of the physical system is created automatically, suggesting the 3-act drama pattern is applicable across cosmic creation as an expansion of metaphysics. Hey, Steve, so good to see you. Awesome, very good. I hope that you can hear me loud and clear. I just reset all the interwebs and hey, Therasia, good to see you too. Everybody, welcome. It's been such a while since I've been here. I was out of town at the Tulip Festival all week last week. So t equals 0. All right. From a physical point of view, the infinite pulse of metaphysics is but a finger snap, a timeless, ultra-thin slice of an event with no thickness or 0 time, a mere flash of a moment whose qualities become automatically and quickly expressed over the variant of time. The momentary nature of the fluctuation guarantees the singular and limited nature of the cosmos, as opposed to the multiverse hypothesis that would come from a more permanent fluctuation with a constant presence. The cosmos is built on an infinitesimal moment of pure, robust truth and reason. In realistic physical terms, the effect of this objective, timeless, infinite pulse, generating a momentary glimpse of the t equals 0 state, is akin to a quantum fluctuation, like ringing a bell, that sparks the birth of the cosmos, as suggested by the professional physics establishment since the early 20th century to be a potential means of sparking the so-called Big Bang. Just as a quantum of energy, or particle, in a box can tunnel out of its containment potential, appearing outside its boundaries within the outer limits of its leaking probability distribution, so ascension, as a significant universal subjective event, may leave its mark as the same timeless point by everyone who experiences it, or consciously tunnels to it from their own point in space-time, reinforcing its significance repeatedly at t equals 0. Eggs cannot be unscrambled and put back in their shells as they were before they were cooked, so the arrow of time determines a definite unidirectional cause and effect to events. Likewise, since an oak tree grows from an acorn, we can take the product of the metaphysical seed to be a tree that incorporates its properties by making things in a space, a place of functional automatic process, and the observer's natural learning environment, or tree of good and evil. Personal choice, in other words, the automatic consequence of which is having no one to blame for our developing experience but ourselves. God, being truth, remains blameless. Now, we can understand the meaning of the statement at the beginning of this chapter. The womb of Prakriti, which is Prakriti, The womb of Prakriti is the infinite abyss, the ground that contains the light anomaly produced by God as the seed of the cosmos from which all things are born and knowable. Emoji King, I'm so glad y'all are here. Oh my goodness. Quote, my womb is Prakriti, in that I place the seed. Thus, all created things are born. Everything born comes from the womb of Prakriti, and I am the seed giving father. End quote. Dids. As the manifest opposite to its metaphysical seed, the resultant expanding space-time universe can be modeled with the same 3 and 1 pattern, as 3 dimensions of space and 1 imaginary dimension of time. The estimation of dark energy in the universe also puts it at around 73%, close to 3/4 again. This mirrored effect is modeled in the vertically arrayed tree of life as an inverted triangle of the 3rd and 4th levels under the upright triangle, making the first 2 levels entirely associated to the metaphysical seed. Dude. We've got an awesome... Oh, son of a gun. Eee, so many chords. All right, so we've got another amazing chart here. Archetype, worlds, and Eden. 1 through 4. Emanation, creation, formation, and action. Prakriti. Thank you. Prakriti. Ah, thank you. Did you notice how I was really struggling with that? I'm sure everybody did. I went real slow when I approached it every time. Prakriti. Even though it's P-R-A. Prakriti. Huh. Wow, though. I want to look at this chart. Mapping the cosmic relationship onto the 3-act drama places the metaphysical seed in Act 1, the cosmos, as the tree that grows from it. In Act 2, leaving Act 3 to predict the nature of the black hole, complete with singularity and event horizon, portrayed philosophically and geometrically as the extremes of a simple point and circle. The suggestion is that the 3rd act represents the reunion of energy with the metaphysical source itself at t=0, the same state as the event horizon of a black hole. That makes it a little, yeah. Wow, okay. So Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, as our chart continues to expand, which is amazing. Are we all in? We're all in. By simple extension, we can predict what comes in other applications, like this one, concerning the philosophical prediction of a return to the original t=0 state from a massive time dilating position in space. A network of black hole seeds that make a great cosmic spider's web of energy across the known universe. As the infinite circle is centered, philosophically, so space-time is energetically centered throughout by the extreme singularity, surrounded by an event horizon at t=0, closing the loop and squaring the cosmic circle to its source from within its own confines. Okay, so Pleroma, the abyss, timeless, T equals 0, black holes, and the cosmos. Hey, Inez, welcome. Good to see you. Juicy, juicy, juicy. All is one, less is more. I like that. Okay. Love you, Steve. I'll see you next time, man. Comparing the overall esoteric picture of reality with the discrete tree archetype reveals the 4 classical mystical worlds of reality and an overall split between the upper and lower halves of the tree, representing the natural split between the upper and lower worlds of spirit and energy. The first level, being the highest position, is applicable to God, or the world of emanation, responsible for the infinite pulse and the true source of the light and its condition, otherwise known as metaphysics or simply God. Subsequently, the second level relates to the world of creation and the completion of the metaphysical triad that includes the Son of God. Starting the lower half of the tree, at the third level, with a spherical distribution instead of a discrete point, we can apply the next rate of change of position, acceleration, to the cosmic expansion and relate it to the world of formation, since the cosmos is mostly about energy, mass, and form. The only thing left to apply, at the lowest level on the tree, are the controlling brakes for the accelerating runaway train, that is the cosmic expansion. In this scheme, the next rate of exchange involves torsion and shearing around points of leverage known as black holes or worlds of action. Position, velocity, acceleration, control. Point, line, surface, volume. Pulse, light, mass, and black holes. Man, I'm really thankful the way he takes us through this. I know that's kind of light. I'm trying to let's see if I can't get this light to show more on it. There we go. I think. I can barely see the screen. Okay. The metaphysical seed in this scheme defines a position for the expansion of the cosmos, whose initial burst at the speed of causality. Is that how you say that? At the speed of causality, or light, is a constant velocity to all observational points of view, starting the second half of the circle with an expanding spherical acceleration. As the cosmic tree from the metaphysical seed, new seeds are defined energetically in its confines as black hole seeds born in the branches of the cosmic tree. Philosophically speaking, the expanding and changing sphere must be reckoned with its own origin, just as the circle is centered to complete the cycle of correspondence, resulting in a conceptual donut from this time, a shape that represents self-referential process. A sphere with a hole in it, a torus. The action of energy dynamics shifts emphasis and goes from being energy that takes a relative position in space-time, from simple light to atomic stars, to a whole defined by the energy around it. The whole implies a boundary, like the empty circle in simple geometry, as a nod to the first stage of squaring a circle, to be completed by the singularity at the heart of the black hole that reconnects with the original T equals 0 state of the original pulse. Dude! In the case of the mountain or pyramid, there is plenty of dirt underneath defining the singular tip or vanishing point, meaning there is simply no such thing as a naked singularity in realistic physical terms. It must be defined by something to say, here is a singular point. A simple definition of a whole, after all, is nothing with something around it. See over there. It is the something around it that defines the whole, not the nothing of the whole itself. The graphic below shows recorded stellar life cycles as they take a variety of courses in time, depending on their mass, ending with the most ominous and destructive black hole that can hover up all other cosmic products, like the trump card in a game of whist, or WHIST. I don't know that game, but I do understand the trump card. All right, stellar life cycle. Euchre. Anybody play euchre? Birth, main sequence, old age, death, and remnant. I gotta look at this. Molecular cloud. Protostars, open cluster. Massive star. Low mass star. Brown dwarf. Huh. Red supergiant. Red giant. Binary white dwarf. Planetary nebula. Type 2 supernova. Supernova remnant. Nova, white dwarf, black dwarf. Interesting. I don't know much about all of that. Once born, black holes subsequently follow the same basic pattern as a human being, from birth to death. They are born in an already existent reality from collapsing stars and grow by consuming mass until they become adults that produce their own children as galaxies, before slowly dissipating to nothing again as the cosmos plays out, leaving only black holes that radiate away with no material left to devour. Black holes always make me think of white holes. I mean, there's always got to be the balance, right? All right, so in subsequently producing the basis of life that leads to the potential reproduction of the creative principle, black hole-centered galactic content makes its way back up the tree archetype, returning to the monad, or spiritual nature, to complete a cycle of 7 steps, hidden in the square of 4 to begin with. Energy systems take on greater complexity as they advance to the point of making the vessel or temple to house the risen Son of God and spark the universe. Archetype and kingdoms. Philosophically, taking the idea of 4 as a square geometrically and joining opposite sides of the square to first make a tube and then a donut, we define a surface which directly connects 7 discrete points together in a unit, meaning each point is directly connected to every other point, as if they are all the central point. Juicy. Okay. Dixie gave me this cool poncho today. I like it. By expanding each point until they meet at their boundaries, we define a 7-color map across the square surface that folds up into a donut, relating the philosophy of the square to the centered sphere. Topologically, Topologically? Topologically, as if the torus completes the fourfold sequence of formation and purposeful action, like a topograph, right? Topological, okay. Sequence of formation and purposeful action, squaring the circle of the sphere or cubing the sphere by defining a singular center. The coil pattern on the toroid surface, dividing the mapped colors, has 3 loops and maps an explosion of 3 points from the center as the torus rotates through its own center in its natural process. Expanding out the 4 levels of the tree archetype into a 7-stage cycle, we can see a natural progression as biological systems in a galaxy rise in ever-increasing complexity towards the rational being who gains intelligence, as if reaching back toward the original monad, as a plant grows toward the sunlight. This cosmic application of the toroidal process and its 7 levels, portrayed as a 7-color map, is the heart of an idea by Arthur Young, technician, logician, I don't know how to say that, logician, like a logic, logician, and inventor of the Bell helicopter. The left side of the sequence is purely automatic and energetic, concerning the yin-yang relationship applied to positive and negative charges. The right side concerns more complex, gender-driven systems, found at a planetary scale, whose biology implies the principle of cause and effect. In this application, the electromagnetic spectrum is the second identity, below the creative pulse, shown as a rainbow of waves in the graphic, implying the entire electromagnetic spectrum. At the next level is a simplified graphic of an atom, pertaining to mass form energy, and the atomic kingdom in general as the table of elements. I researched the table of elements before, and it's really fascinating, how it even came to be, and the whole religious process that was taking place inside the man who, first brought it our way. But it's more a circle anyways, the whole thing of it. It's 3-dimensional. It's cool. I mean, we're talking about the torus and everything. It's interesting. Finally, the 4th level shows the networking principle we find with linking atoms comprising the mineral or molecular kingdom at the much smaller mass scale than the black hole network that makes up the cosmic content. The right side of the sequence represents the development of gender-driven living systems as more complex patterns that gain more and more physical freedom, completed by the intellectual human creature, whose rational ability and divine potential remakes the original metaphysical seed of the system that generated them. Just as it takes 3 acts to make the seed as an accumulated blueprint in the first place, so the accumulation of energy to its fullness in this sequence can be mapped over the same 3 acts. At the cosmic scale of application, black holes fulfill the turning point of the 2nd act, leaving the 3rd act to the refinement of the creature produced. Finally, taking the product creature in youth as the 1st act, we can fit the event of divine inspiration in middle age as the 2nd act, leaving the 3rd to illumination into divine nature and beyond. The correspondence between what is above and below is an ancient testament to physics coming from metaphysics. As the ancient Hermetic tradition asserts, quote, as above, metaphysics, so below, physics. All right, so this is our drama, the Act 1, 2, and 3, Metaphysics, Philosophy, and Kingdoms. So cool. Dude. Zero, one, infinity. And a positive. And dude. Unifying them. The pyramid. The kingdoms of nature may be expressed succinctly by the Hermetic tradition in 7 principles. Pulse, energy, mass, black hole network, life, creature, intellect. Which is so awesome. He displays that through the 7 chakras. 7. Or the 7 major chakras. Okay, so of the 7 principles, there is correspondence between the light as redeemer and the creator, closing the loop between the inner and outer subjective and objective worlds. Everything that exists thereof is vibration or energy. As a result of union, creation is inculcated through vibration, which finds polarity in the inherent duality of material nature. The archons. Vibration, applied as the second kingdom of energy, belongs to everything manifest and physical, shown as the cosmos in the graphic table below. I'll show it to you before I finish that paragraph. Pulse correspondence, energy, vibration, atomic polarity, molecular rhythm, vegetable, cause and effect, animal gender, and intellect, mentalism. All is mentalism, eh? This is so cool. Man, I'm so okay. The next stage involves the collapse of material into atomic polarized stars, shown as a chart of stellar types in the table. Further accumulation gives rise to rhythm and the music of the spheres, or the order of the heavens, as stars with planets that harbor biological systems. At this level, the nature of cause and effect becomes more pronounced. Gender-driven life then develops to the point of spiritual ascension. Through our own mentalism, we create a correspondence between the outer objective world and the inner subjective reality by making the light with God's Holy Spirit. The highest form of life in this system closes the loop of kingdoms by discovering divinity and metaphysics within. The suggestion in such a neat and tidy system is that there is one destined cosmic purpose based on simple logical process: to allow rational beings to consciously square the circle of life and recreate the light as the perfected Son of God, making divine those who do so. Okay, I just panicked and thought I wasn't recording. I was like, oh no, it's so good though. Oh hey, that's it. That's the end of chapter 3, I think. Yeah, it is. And it ends with this sweet culmination picture. Wow. Dang, everyone. Oh, that was so short, right? Just 30 minutes. Amazing. Dude, thank you, Phil. So next I go live with this, which I intend to do tomorrow, as long as the interwebs lets me, is chapter 4, Riddles, Metaphor, and Metaphysics. Awesome. Dang, it's really good to see everyone. Oh. Again, I feel lightheaded after reading this stuff. There's some of that stuff in there I'm going to go and look at again right now. Some of that stuff that I didn't like, it didn't all connect for me. I caught back up at the end where, I understood the gist of what he was saying, but some of that stuff was really in depth, and some of that stuff I'm not as familiar with. But hey, I'm real thankful, right, that the book's in my hands so that I can keep studying it. So dang, y'alls, Until next time, take care of yourselves. I totally appreciate you. Thank you so much, Phil. Thank you, Steve. Thank you to my family. Thank you, everyone here. Thank you, YouTube and OBS. And yeah, above all, spirits. Thank you, Goddess. So dang. Mwah. I'll see y'all very soon. Thank you.